to 50 Movies in 50 Weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set from Mill Creek in 50 weeks. The movie I watched today was called The Corpse Vanishes from the year 1942. This feels more like a murder mystery type movie, but it does have macabre elements beyond the fact that it's a murder mystery. It does feel like it is. It doesn't feel like a horror movie, but it has horror movie elements. And those elements, I'll just come out of the gate and say it. The elements are Bela Lugosi is kidnapping women and stealing their youth to make his wife forever young. It's a very Dracula-esque story. Speaking of which, Bela Lugosi sleeps in a coffin in this one, so you just can't escape that Dracula motif. But for the most part, it does feel more like a mystery story. It feels, like a detective story. It follows the spunky lady journalist, that type of character that's just rampant in all these 1940s movies. She's like, Chief, I need to get the big scoop. Oh, you're always putting me on these wedding details. I need a big scoop. And finally she does get the big scoop because Bela Lugosi, he's kidnapping all these brides on their wedding day, and they all have the same bouquet, and she's suspicious. She thinks that Bela Lugosi has something to do with it, and he totally does. And a lot of the movie, well, not a lot of it, the good middle chunk of it feels like an old Dark House movie. She goes and visits Bela Lugosi's house, and he's got like a whole, they have a whole cast of characters in this house. There's a hunchback, there's a midget, there's the stereotypical gypsy woman, and then there's Bela Lugosi and his vampire bride. So it definitely crams in as many stereotypes as possible. And she is going around the house and she's seeing all this crazy stuff, and then everyone's like, oh, you didn't actually see that. They're getting hypnotized. And that's the most horror part of the movie. And it's maybe 20 minutes at most, but the rest of the movie is more so a journalistic detective story. And it all comes to a head at the very end where she fakes a wedding to lure and capture Bela Lugosi in the act. And I don't know, I had fun with this one. It moved a lot quicker than a lot of these movies from this time period. A lot of these movies are just talking heads. And this is a talking head movie too, but there's constant progression going on. There's scene changes, there's ideas being, I think this was a cut above a lot of the fare you typically get in a box set like this. And while I don't think it will stick in my memory for a long, long time, it was a fun and decent watch, and it makes me happy that I'm actually doing this 50 movies in 50 week series, because it's exposing me to stuff I would have never thought about watching. If I was just left in the wild, if I had this box set and I wasn't doing this series, I'd probably pick it up and I'd be like, I'll watch White Zombie. I know that's a good one. I would pick the stuff that I know about. The Corpse Vanishes, what's that? It sounds like a Hitchcock. It sounds like a Hitchcock ripoff. The lady vanishes? Nah, it's the corpse. That's what vanishes. But yeah, I had a fun time with it for the most part, and I would definitely recommend this one. I think it was a lot of fun. It might be good for movie riffing. I don't know if there's been a movie, a Riff Tracks or Mystery Science Theater. I don't know if they covered this, but I had a decent amount of fun with this movie, and I think I will leave it at that. I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.